Someone once said that you are the CEO of your own life, and as long as women take the initiative, they take the wheel, and they become drivers of their own lives, then we are on the right track. Hello, my name is Patricia Pamba, and I will be the host of this interview. And today we are going to discuss about achieving an equal future with women in leadership. On March 8th, Mwananchi Communications Limited, under its business flagship, Thecitizen, is bringing to you the Citizen Rising Woman Initiative with the aim to empower women leaders in our society.
Baada ya kumaliza kidato cha 4 sikuwa na uwezo wa kuendelea na shule. Ndio nilipoajiliwa rasmi Geita Gold Mine Limited na niliajiliwa kama dumper truck operator. Nilipata mafunzo kwa muda wa miezi 3. So miaka 14 sasa niko kwenye operation. Tunapoongelea dumper truck ni mashine kubwa, inahitaji ujasiri wa hali ya juu hasa kwa mwanamke. Cha kwanza uipende kazi. Kuwa strong, kama hujaipenda kazi you can't do it. Tulikuwa tuna roster ya siku 6. Tunafanya kazi mchana siku 3, tunafanya kazi usiku siku 3, tunapumzika siku 3. Mimi ninachokiamini na ninachokifanya mwanaume nina uwezo wa kukifanya, inawezekana tena zaidi. Hilo dampa nimeliendesha, nilikuwa naendesha na wanaume. Kuna wanaume walikuwa hawawezi kumaliza usiku, lakini mimi nilikuwa naweza. So it's not about gender, ni uthubutu. Kuwa mwanamke haikufanyi wewe kuwa less. Anything the man can do, the woman can do better. That is what I believe. Geita Gold Mine Limited ina system yake moja kwa issue ya matibabu. Dependents wanatibiwa, wewe mwenyewe unatibiwa. Education allowance wanalipa. Sasa inategemea na una watoto wangapi, lakini mwisho ni watoto 4. Thanks to Geita Gold Mine Limited ninaendelea na maisha, nimejenga. Nina binti yangu ana miaka 10 sasa hivi, namsomesha. Ndoto yangu kubwa ni kumuona anasoma na kupata professional nzuri. Hata kama professional haitampa matokeo positive, aende mbali zaidi. Ushauri wangu kwa madada, hakuna ambacho kinashindikana. Ni wewe tu unakuwa na ambition kiasi gani, kwamba unataka kufanya nini. So everything is possible.
Today, we have an incredible woman who is the Chief Manager, HR and Administration of DCB Bank, and her name is Miss Evelyn Rugambo. Welcome, Miss Evelyn.
Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure having you here today. You're quite an inspirational, quite a rising woman, and I'd like you first to applaud you for that.
Thank you very much.
Well, I believe that from where you're standing today, you have passed through a lot of things. So what is your career journey? What is your personal story when it comes to career? How did you become the Chief Manager of HR and Administration today?
Well, it was a journey, a pleasant journey, I would say. And I started my career journey in Citibank, where I worked as a bank teller by then. Quite young, quite energetic, and quite exciting.
Yeah.
After which I worked with Citibank for a year, and then I left. I joined Standard Chartered Bank as a personal financial consultant. So I worked with Standard Chartered Bank for 2 years. Then I left. I went to Vodacom, a totally different industry, the telecoms industry. It came with a lot of challenge and new ways of doing things. I worked with Vodacom, and I stayed with Vodacom for 5 years. After which I left, I went to Barclays Bank, back to banking industry. I loved working with Barclays, and I grew up, joined in as a young professional in human resource department. Mm-hmm. And I worked with Barclays for more than 5 years. I grew up from an officer to a manager to an acting head of department in the Learning and Development Center. And afterwards, I joined Serengeti Breweries in the HR department. And I grew up as well from a learning and development specialist to a HR business partner and acting HR director. And then I got an opportunity to come back to the banking sector, and I worked with DCB, and currently I'm at DCB as Chief Human Resource and Administration Manager.
Yeah.
So that has been my career journey, cutting across different organizations and different industries, but it has been quite a pleasant experience.
Yeah, so you seem to have gone from a lower step to a higher. It's like stepping and climbing up a ladder.
That's right.
Right? So I'd like to know, have you always seen yourself at the top management roles? Have you always wanted to be a leader? Is it something that you dream of since you were young, or is it something that you just found yourself that you've reached here?
Yeah, actually, yes. I've always have been dreaming of being a leader. Ever since when I was young, I had a vision, you know, one day I'm going to be a very successful professional. And I already had that dream.
Yeah.
And I remember even while growing up, I used to tell my parents that, you know what, I'm going to be a very important person one of these days. So I worked hard towards it. I had a vision, I had a dream to get there. I said, if others could get there, why not me? And I used to admire the professionals, you know, seeing them going to work, carrying their bags and having their laptops, having their computer. At that young age, I really wanted to be one. So I had that vision and I worked very hard to ensure that I actually get there in a few years.
Well, that's a dream come true, I guess.
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, so let's speak about the moments that you have had during your career. I believe for you to be where you are today, you've passed through so much. So what are the most vulnerable moments that you passed through in your career as a woman that you'll always remember and you're like, I'm glad that I passed through this?
I think in the corporate world, there are quite a lot of challenges. And one of the challenges is to really stand out of the crowd.
Yeah.
You have to be different. You have to show the strong professional that you are in terms of the subject knowledge. Yeah, and you really need to prove yourself. So I really worked hard to ensure, you know, I actually prove myself. I stand out of the crowd. I create my personal brand. I get to be known for my work that I deliver on the table. And that has been quite pleasant. Another challenge as a woman in the corporate world is time. You know, women, you got to balance.
Yeah, you
have
wear many hats.
you have your personal life, you have your work life, you have family. So end of the day, you have to ensure that you balance.
Yeah.
You know, time management is crucial. And work-life balance is also crucial. You need to make sure that your employer is happy, you deliver for your employer, as well as you need to make sure that your family is happy. So you need to spend quality time with your family. So as a leader in the corporate world, I think those were the areas that really were quite challenging for me.
Yeah, most people say that for a person to move forward, they need to have a mentor. So how has mentorship played a role in your career life?
Mentor is quite important for my experience and my viewpoint, because a mentor is a person who holds your hand and is a person who makes you think differently, makes you look outside the box. They make you think big. So especially women in the corporate world, sometimes women, naturally, we sometimes fear to take a step ahead.
True.
We are quite risk averse. So having a mentor by your side, encouraging you, supporting you, not necessarily showing you what to do, but just, you know, probing your mind to think differently and encouraging you that, you know, sky's the limit, go for it. Yeah. I think it's quite encouraging. And from my personal experience, yes, I've had mentors in my life before who helped me and made me think differently. You know, showed me that, you know what, Evelyn, you can go out there, you can get it, push yourself to a different, take the risk and look for the opportunities. Yeah. So I think having mentors in the leadership role, especially us women as career women, is important, because they also help you to network with different individuals who can help you even bloom better and grow your leadership skills even better. And also just that thinking, and they push you to limits that you feel that you've never really, you know, without them you couldn't really get there.
True.
Yeah, so I encourage women leaders who are aspiring to grow to top level leadership positions to have mentors who will also help them to grow and help them to think differently and even to take the risks that they feel that they cannot take. Yeah.
So as a HR manager, I believe you have most of the power, especially when it comes to dealing with people and the company employees. So I'd like to know, as an HR, do you have any policies in place at the company that helps bringing gender equality at DCB Bank?
In DCB, our HR policies allow for diversity and inclusion. And we believe in women empowerment, yeah, and we have equal opportunities for both women and men, for both genders. And in DCB, we have 50% of women leadership representatives.
Wow, congratulations.
At the leadership and EXCO levels. And within the bank, we're also 50-50. And also in our board, we have our vice chair as a lady. So as DCB Bank, we're very proud of it, and we keep encouraging women because we know that they're talented and their potential, and we like to give them a chance to prove themselves and to unleash their potential.
Yeah. So what about formal training? Do we have formal training within the company or different initiatives that aim to empower a woman?
In terms of training, we do offer trainings. We offer leadership trainings, which are catered for the organization. And when we offer trainings, we believe that trainings are provided to upskill. To upskill your competencies, to upskill your knowledge and your leadership. So we do provide training in the bank in order to grow our employees and our staff, to improve in terms of productivity.
While it comes to women, when it comes at the workplace, most people say that women don't reach further because they don't have it within themselves to want more. Compared to men, most of them say that when it comes to women, we're not just being born to do so, but even our culture, it doesn't really influence us to be forward and to show the employee that I can do it, I can take leadership position. Unlike men, they're very aggressive towards work. So how do we make sure that more women come forward? And do you also believe that that is a problem within women, that we also have somewhat of a problem ourselves, maybe because of the culture? Or what other problems do women face that we could actually solve to ensure that we bring these equal opportunities to both male and female at the leadership positions?
Okay, if you talk of culture, for me, I believe a bit differently. I believe the aggressiveness to go forward and take something is intrinsic. Okay, it's inborn, it's there in you.
Yeah.
You just need to flourish it. You need to let it out. And for women, and especially for girls, I feel and I believe that the training starts at home. Yes. That urge of going out there and getting it starts at home. For example, in my case, when I was growing up, I told my parents, I want to be somebody someday, and they groomed me and they brought me up that way. They encouraged me. So you get that encouragement from home. You feel supported, and you are nourished now to remove your fears, to build in the self-confidence, and to go and get it, reach out and get it. So I believe every woman have that. What is critical is you need to have the vision. You need to be able to get out of your shell, push yourselves to limits that you can get to, and don't wait for somebody else to come and push you. Make it happen for yourself. Because you are a talented woman, you have it in you. You can go out there and change the world. And in recent times, we've seen women growing up in the corporate world. We've seen women growing up in our own country. For example, we do have a vice president who is a woman.
A woman, yeah.
Mama Samia,
yes.
Right? We have, in the corporate world, we have a CEO in the bank, who is a woman. And in our board, we have a woman, vice chair. So you see that is changing. And if you read their stories or if you listen to them, you know, it goes back to them being young girls by then, young women by then, but they had this vision and they pushed themselves and they were supported with the community that they live in.
Yeah.
So my call to women who are already in leadership, who are in the leadership position, is to reach out to the young ladies who are, you know, coming in, the millennials who want to grow and they have these big dreams of, you know, being leaders one day, is to reach out and coach them, you know, mentor them, encourage them. And not only women, even we do have the male counterparts who are leaders in the position. They're very, very good. They should also support, I reach out to them to support women and to mentor them and to encourage them, because women, yes, we don't take much risks. We're quite risk averse. Sometimes we're afraid of doing things. But if you're encouraged, I'm sure you can unleash your full potential.
So you've talked about male. I'd like to know about their side. What is the importance of bringing men into the discussions of gender equality? Because I believe when it comes to leadership positions, currently most of them are males. So if they don't come within the discussion to make sure that this thing is actually happening, I think we'll be leaving them behind. And we can't always just have these discussions with just women. And we can't close or put a blind eye saying that, okay, they are men, so they shouldn't be in our discussion. If you want to move forward, they should be there, for what I believe. So how do you see, what is the importance, what is the role of men when it comes to achieving gender equality?
Looking back in history, and especially in the corporate world, it was quite male-dominated world by then.
Yeah.
So leaving out male completely and saying, you know, we are women and we'll do it ourselves, I don't see it working.
Yeah.
And in the real world, it doesn't work like that. In the real world, we're both genders.
Yeah.
We're male and we're female. So I believe in working together as a team. Working together as a team, you know, sitting on the table, discussing the issues and agreeing on a way forward. And especially in the working, in the corporate world, you can't isolate yourself. You know, we are women, you are men. No, we work together as a team. So sitting on the table and giving an opportunity and a chance for women empowerment, I think is key. And we've seen that happen in a lot of corporate world.
Yeah.
You know, it is engaging and involving and wanting to see where do we want to go as an organization. And again, trend has it that having women in top leadership position helps the organization to even perform much better, you know, in terms of the culture change, in terms of increase in sales, in terms of the shareholders, growing the shareholders equity and all that. So having a balanced gender in top leadership position is crucial, and women cannot isolate themselves. We need to work together.
Yeah, exactly. And so we want to achieve an equal future, right? But let's talk about skills. We can't always say that we want to achieve an equal future, we want the 50-50 thing, but then when we go to interviews, let's say, and you can find maybe men have more skills than females. So even if you want to actually empower a woman, but if they have better skill than you, you'd have to go with the person who is skilled enough. So what are the 3 skills that you think that women should work on to ensure that even when we enter into interviews, we have that equal opportunities as men? What are the 3 skills that you believe most men possess that women don't have, but if women could actually learn to nurture up those skills, they could be at a better position of attaining those positions?
Okay, as an HR practitionist, I think the skills that we really need to acquire are your specialized area.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a lawyer, then be best at what you do. If you are an HR professional, be best at what you do. You know, if you're a doctor, be best at what you do. So having the technical skills at what you do, you should aim to be the best.
Yeah.
All right. That is one. Secondly, in terms of leadership, you need to be confident. You need to take risks. And that is an area where, you know, as an HR professional, I have observed women kind of lag behind they don't come out strongly. Yeah, so they, you know, we need to be more confident. We need to be able to sit on the table and not by the table or by the side of the table.
Sure.
Sit on the table and show that you're confident and you're able to go for the role. Yes, and then another one is understand the business. Understand the business, have an industry knowledge acumen. You know, some of us just are quite late.
Yeah.
So I think also understanding that what is happening in the market, you know, how can I maximize and grab that opportunity for my growth. So in terms of the skills, I think looking at it that way, being all-rounded, and putting yourself, you know, that I can do it, you know, having that self-confidence, the self-assurance, the intrinsic energy, you know, that I can do it. I'm going for this interview and I'm going to get the job.
Yeah.
And so that I'm going for this interview, I might get the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Be sure about it.
Be sure that I'm going in and I'm going to get the job. I'm going to be the best candidate.
Wow, that is the very best advice I could hear the whole day. So let's speak to your younger self. Think of your teenager self. What would you have advised her? The little Evelyn, what would you have advised her? Knowing what you know today, what do you wish that you knew when you were a teenager?
Well, that's an interesting one. I think I would advise Evelyn to be more bold and confident. Yes, I would advise Evelyn to sit on the table and let her voice be heard. And I would advise Evelyn to go for it and make sure that she gets it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I'll take those advices and give them to myself. Well, thank you so much, Evelyn, for this short but quite interesting interview. I personally have learned so much through it, and I believe that whoever that is going to be listening to this interview, they have quite learned a lot from you. And I'd like to applaud you for all that you're doing, but also because you're the HR, you have this ability to bring in more people. And looking at DCB Bank, I can see that diversity where, you know, women have. This is an example of women making it, killing it in the industry and making a difference. I'd like to remind you that on March 8th, Mwananchi Communications Limited is bringing to you the Citizen Rising Woman Initiative that will be happening at Serena Hotel, so don't miss. And you can be there via Mwananchi Digital or on Clouds Plus. My name is Latricia Pamba and I was the host of this interview. Let's meet next time. Thank you.